and welcome everybody to Adobe Live. I am honored to be your host. My name is Anna Daviscourt, if you didn't know. Today we're going to be working in Photoshop and we're going to have pro tips all centered around the Symmetry tool. It is going to be fun. We're going to draw a lot. It's already fun in the chat. I'm so glad to see everybody. Thank you, Mod. Thank you, Jack, for modding today. So good to see you in the chat. Also, we've got my best friend Anthony Sims over on YouTube. Hello. Just a reminder to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to watch replays. That is a really great place to see them. And if you subscribe, you'll get notified every single time. We've got so many friends over in the Behance chat. Hi, Robert, who says he's banging his head on his keyboard to make it symmetrical. Well, you know, if it works. We've got Patrick, we've got Apruva, we've got so many clevers here. Oh my gosh, everybody. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. It's a great morning to tune in. I hope you have Photoshop open because you're going to want to draw today. It's really fun to use the Symmetry tool. So let's just jump into it. Oh, hey, we got Alessandra too. Hi, Alessandra. All right, let's jump into Photoshop. I've got a blank document here. If you've never used it, the Symmetry tool is this little butterfly at the top of this bar. Now you have to have the brush tool or pen tool or whatever you want to use selected so that you can have this little butterfly at the top. It's going to be on the far right of all your tools at the top of the bar. So when you click into it, it's very straightforward. The Symmetry tool is creating symmetry, and it's so useful. There are so many ways to use this. I'm going to show you a few of them today, and we're going to just have fun. So I've got a blank layer. I've got my brush tool. Just one warning before we start. If you're using live brushes, they don't work with the Symmetry tool. So just use non-live brushes and it will work. If you're wondering, like, why is this not happening? Then it is because you have live brushes, and I have experienced that before. So something to look out for. So the first thing you do is you can click, I just clicked vertical symmetry, which is a line. You can make it as big or as small as you want. I'm just going to keep it to default. Click enter, and there's your line. Now what happens when you draw? Oh my gosh, it mirrors. Who would have thunk it? So you can do anything with this. You can start drawing a face and just have like a little cutie, you know? But I want to create, let's see, I mean, anything that is symmetrical is a really fun thing to draw. I do think it would be fun to do a little character. What if we did self-portraits today? I think that would be a good one to start with. I have a really round face. I've got my bangs going. I've got little ears poking out when my headphones aren't on. And then some eyes, obviously. We gotta have them brows. Oh, powerful brows. A little smile and a tiny little nose. Actually, I think I like the swoop for the nose. See, fun things can happen when you're using the Symmetry tool because you never know what kind of shapes will exactly look like mirrored like this. That's one of the useful things, is having it so immediate. In the olden days, I used to draw things and duplicate them and put them, like, use the transform tool to flip them to the other side. And it was just not immediate. It was great to see things flipped onto the other side, but it is not as tactile as this. You could do anything with this. And obviously I have to have a crown. So this is the vertical tool, or the vertical version of the tool, but I want to show off all the other kinds today because when you open up this butterfly list, there are a million different types of uses for this that can be done. So the sky is really the limit. Obviously there's vertical, so you can do this way. There's horizontal, so you can do this way. I love dual axis. This is one that I think will be very useful if you're designing something with borders, as Jack says, ye olden days. Ye olden days, there weren't so many tools in Photoshop. If any of you are from the olden days, raise your hand in the chat or put a clock or something, because I do think we all have that kind of similar experience of having memories of what it used to be like. All right, so we've got 4 quadrants. You can kind of intuit there how it is flipped. It's vertical and horizontal lines. So what you're getting is 4 quadrants of replication immediately, which makes it so useful for, say, designing something for print like a memo pad. This is what I wanted to try out with you guys. So I'm pressing Shift to create straight lines. and they can all join up together like that. I wanted to create a little border with this corner detail. I think I'll put like a little flower in here. And again, this is just a loose sketch, so don't worry about it being perfect or anything, but you can create literal perfection with the Symmetry tool if you so choose. I think I want to do like checkers or something like that here. And we can just color those in. It's really fun to see it immediately. Just, whoa, we've got so much done so quickly. All right, so we've got, here, I'm going to do it like it's got one square in the center and then work my way out from there. Loosey-goosey, not being too tight with it. And having these little checkers, boom, look at that. Dunzo, baby. So we can have this be a memo pad in that way of having an open area to write in the center of. Think of like a really decorative post-it note. That's the idea. Oh, we've got some clocks in the chat. Clever says, oh yeah, I old. Oliver puts a clock in the chat. Oh man, you guys are funny. All right, excellent. One of the things I wanted to show you along with the sketchability, creating ideas really quickly with this, is the paintability as well. Because yes, you can paint with it. I'm just going to go in with a slightly lighter green, kind of desaturated a little bit, and I'm going to just paint in this border. Boom! It happens on all the quadrants. I love it. Oh, it's so satisfying. And then we can do even more colors behind it. We could do, I think like a cream color would be nice for behind this. Don't know, I'm holding up my other hand while I draw. Like, I have to keep it under wraps. See, I don't even have to paint all that way. I can just zoop, 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 and have it be kind of like it's colored in rather than it's just a flat color. And there we go. That could be a really cute memo pad. I could keep coloring it in ad nauseum. All these new layers are all paying attention to the Symmetry tool. So really it is just using that information of making it into quadrants, duplicating whatever you make on any layer. That is really useful. Now, say I want to put something that isn't symmetrical on. Say I want to mock up a little note that is written on here. I'm going to turn off the Symmetry tool. So you just go up to the butterfly, turn Symmetry off, and now I can say, oh, if I had the right color on, I could say, hello world, because that's what I write every single day. And it's not using the quadrant Symmetry tool now. And then if I want to, I can turn it back on. I can use Symmetry, or I could just go back to dual axis because I was using the default size of it. But last use Symmetry is always a really good one to go back to. Thank you for adding that, people who developed Photoshop, because all the time I'll be like, okay, I'm done. And then I'm like, wait, I wanted to add one more thing. So all you have to do is go to the butterfly tool, turn on last use Symmetry, and whatever size, whatever shape you wanted, there it is. Now I talk about shape. Let me show you another use case. So this is, I'm going to turn the Symmetry off so you can see it. This is a piece that I actually, I used on another stream. What was it? I think it was selective color. If you haven't seen that pro tips, you should definitely check out the replay. And one of the things about this piece is it's got a million plants, man. And one of the things that I wanted to show you is how you can add something so quickly, so much more quickly than just painting it on its own. I also want to show you how you can adapt shapes to what you want. Okay, so we've got the Symmetry tool, and I'm going to choose wavy this time, which is a little bit different than what we've been working with so far. And I'm going to just tilt this blue line, if you can see it here. I'm going to turn down this opacity so you can really see it. Okay, and what I wanted to do, here, I'm going to do that again, sorry. Wavy. Okay, there we go. Is you can transform this with a warp tool like this. See? So you can get really precise with how you want to adapt it to a different shape. So I'm going to create a little less of a curve at the top, and I'm going to do a little more extreme one at the bottom, like this. So it's not just an equal wave, it's like a wonky wave, a little more organic. All right. And then what we can do, I'm going to turn this back up. is use another blank layer. I'm just on my animator pencil from Kyle's drawing box, and I'm going to select some of the colors in here that I know will stand out on top of other plants. And all I have to do is color in the leaves. And on one side, I'm doing the work, and on the other side, it's just duplicating it, which means that I have half the work. Trust me, when you're doing a piece with this much detail, you want half the work. All right, now I can go in and outline because this piece has a lot of outlines in it. Of course, that's up to your creative vision if it feels right. And all I have to do is just outline one side of this. There are many ways to do everything in Photoshop, honestly, but this is one of the fastest ways to create some kind of symmetrical plant. I can go in there, I can change leaf colors because I really like it when leaves have variety amongst them. And that's kind of the strength of this piece is it has so many different kinds of greens and colors in it. So I want to replicate that. I want to add a little variety, and you can see how quickly this comes together. So quick. Oh, I love it. And then when you're thinking about turning this off, if we turn it off, it doesn't have a stem right now. So I'm going to use Symmetry to bring that back up. And I'm going to just go right down the line. It's like a little guide. I'm going to try to keep on it as much as possible because if I go off, it's going to create some kind of like, weird line that I don't want. So I'm just trying to keep on it. Beep, 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 beep. And Symmetry off. Boom! We got our plant, baby! And I can transform that into place wherever I want it. And it's just so much faster than drawing it all individually. Adds so much detail. This is... Oh, yes! Actually, Apruva is asking in the chat to show again how to transform. Let me show you. That went really fast. So, again, if you're in the Symmetry tool, first you need to have your brush on, and then you will have the butterfly symbol at the top right of your toolbar. If you add a blank layer, you can turn on wavy, is what I did. And then to transform it, it brings up this toolbar at the top of your page, and it's got this little grid that's like bending, and that is I believe it's called warp transform. And it gives you this grid whenever you grab these points. And these are like the pen tool. They have little widgets, for lack of a better word, whatever those are called, so that you can really control the shape of this wave. So that's how I did it, Apruva. Does that help? Hopefully so. And then I can press the little check mark to say that I am done with changing the shape. And since I don't need this because I just showed that, I can turn it off. Boom. Now, those are the use cases that I wanted to show you today. We have, let's just go back through them real quick. Let's see. Okay, so Symmetry tool, really straightforward. That is just a straight line down the middle. Then we have the quadrants that you can create with dual axis, which is basically creating a vertical and horizontal line that is flippable all over it. Hello, world! And then we have our beautiful plant added to our already existing image, and this is using the wavy tool, which we transformed. So there are multiple left. Let's just go through them because they are all really fun to play with. And I hope you have Photoshop open and you are playing with them right now because they are so much fun. I can't tell you how like tangibly goofy it is to use some of these. Let's show you circle. Okay, so let's say I'm going to get a really texturized brush. I'm going to say that that shape is perfect. And we can let's make a wreath of some sort. Let's do this direction. All you have to do is paint on one side of it, and it's mesmerizing as it fills in. It's so fun. So then we have, boom, a wreath really quickly. You can have it come out or go in, however much you want, and you can erase it. And it's just gonna do exactly what you want it to do. It just mirrors everything. Now, one of the interesting things about circle and spiral is, I actually want to show you something goofy that I discovered with spiral. So I'm gonna go in and do spiral. And I'm going to show you something that I was just playing around to show you guys what would happen with certain things. And this is the goofiest, okay? So we've got Oh, was it spiral? I think it was circle. It's fine. It'll work the same way. So imagine I want to draw a snake. I'm going to draw like this. Ooh, it's its body. And then I'm going to give it a head right there. And I'm going to, give it eyes. You can see what's starting with the eyes. And then if I turn this snake into a lizard, watch this. Wee. Something's going on, right? What is happening? Well, it's using the information from one side and transforming it on another. So it creates this really like weird zoop out. So what I would recommend is, this is not a weakness or anything. This is just using the tool how you want to use it. So say, let's do the snake to lizard again, but it's going to be on a circle. Whoop. There we go. See, that worked a little bit better. But if I want to use the if I want to add the legs, again, that's going to happen. So all I have to do is turn symmetry off. And then I can add the legs as I see fit. They are always going to be wonky because that's how I sketch. And then you still have this really quick tool to get the body on, and then you can put whatever legs on you want. So it's really just knowing when to use it, when not to use it. And obviously the use cases for it. So if we go back to the wreath, I can add all sorts of stuff to it. I can, let's add some flowers. I'm going to use the vertical symmetry tool. And let's shout out a color. Do you want red, pink? Let's say, I think we should do some pink. Let's do some pink flowers. So I'm going to just really quickly, really easily, boop, 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 like that. Make some flowers. Oh my gosh, this would be so much fun to make snowflakes with. Wouldn't that be great? Let's make some snowflakes after this. Okay, so we've got the vertical symmetry tool used. You can turn that off. And then we can just duplicate and spread this around the wreath. Beep, bop, and boop. And imagine all the different flowers you could make. Obviously, you can make them as detailed as you want. I'm showing you really quick little use tools because I want to show all of them to you. I could work on all of these for a million years if I wanted to, but it's really fun to just hop around and see what you can make. All right, so back on this wreath, I just, I say that I'm like hopping around and showing you quickly, and then I'm like, but I want to fix some of this. The artist's mind, Okay, so we've got our wreath, we've got some flowers. This is a really fun one to do with the circle tool. Of course, when there's green, I can't help but make some little different colors pop out. Let's do zoop, zoop, zoop. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And again, I'm doing like a lot of very, what would you call it? Mirrored designs. But what we can do is have interesting little things come off that are not just one leaf at a time. You could have multiple leaves come off. And again, when you're using the circle, it's going to basically condense what's on one side and expand what's on the other side. So just keep that in mind. The further you go out, the more like warped it will get. Beep. Oh, RB says, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining the chat. All right. So we've got a wreath. Let's check out some of the other tools. Let's go symmetry off. I'm going to have 5 million layers by the end of this. Okay. We saw spiral and, oh, radial. Let's do radial. This is a really fun one. Okay. So I'm going to pick, I think like a bluish color. Yeah. And one of the things that I love about this is thank you once again, Photoshop team. Whoever created this tool thought of if you wanted something to come from one side and go to the other like that. Or if you're using the mandala, it is creating coming from both sides, essentially. So this is something that is really, really fun to play with. If you love patterns, this is for you. It is so, like, instantly gratifying, I would say. And You can use the mandala to create really quick patterns if you want to. Oh, the fun of like having this overlap. Whoa, so much fun. And then you could also, of course, use this for things like snowflakes, anything that is, what would you call it? Like tessellations. Really, really fun. But then I wanted to, I was showing you mandala versus radial, and I love mandala, so it's really fun to play with. But I want to go back to radial and show you. I did this little sketch earlier, and I just kind of want to recreate it. So if we do a face, which is interesting, like, why would you do a face here? Sorry, I accidentally pressed tab there. But you could do literally anything. You could make anything. So why not a face? Truly. I'm going to put a line down here. And I did this, it was a orange slice going this way. And it's, again, so instantly gratifying to have this ability to just draw it once. And I literally switched from this quadrant to this one. That really helped, I'm sure, showing you because they're all the same. I did like one on the right, one on the left. You can switch between them, and that is really satisfying for your brain. So this is the orange slice self-portrait. That's what I'm going to call it. Whoop. So seeing how far you can take this, I really just want to see what you guys would make with this. So it would be really lovely if you played around with the Symmetry tool. You could post it on the Photoshop Discord. You could post it on social media and tag Adobe Live. That would be great. I would also love to be tagged. I'm Anna Daviscourt on a lot of social medias. And it would be fun to see what you guys come up with this tool. Now remember, one thing to pay attention to is don't use live brushes with it. And let's see, other than that, it's really just have fun. Sky's the limit. You can use multiple layers. You can transform it in any way you want. Again, if you have any questions, this is a great place to ask them. But the Symmetry tool is just a lot of fun to play with, and I would highly recommend you do so. Thank you, Jack, for putting a link to the Discord in the chat. That is very useful. Oh, thank you guys. You're so nice. Alessandra says, miss your streams, Anna. Oh, I love being here with you guys. Okay, so this is how to use the, oh gosh, what was this called? Radial tool. There are so many different types of Symmetry tool within, well, the types of Symmetry patterning. So I would highly encourage you to play with them and just sketch it out, paint it out, whatever you want. Everything that you can do with painting, you can do with the Symmetry tool and get it done in half the time, literally. Let's see, what should I add? Some leaves? I think I had leaves on the original sketch I did. Beep. Isn't it so funny when sometimes you sketch something and then you forget exactly what it looked like, but you're creating like a new one. So it's nice sometimes to start from scratch, even if you have an idea of what you want. Beep, bop. There are these massive orange trees where I live, and it's amazing. They are absolutely breathtaking. And so many oranges. Oh, if anybody lives in California, you know what I'm talking about. Citrus is aplenty. Oh yeah, earlier in the chat we were talking about how hot it is with everybody, where everybody lives. I really hope you guys stay cool in the coming days, and yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your week. We're going to, actually next stream up is going to be editing in Lightroom and Photoshop with Zara from Sunny Studios. So thank you so much for joining us for this Symmetry tool talk. And I hope to see you again. Actually, I'll be hosting Pro Tips again next week, so I will see you then. Oh, RB says, that depends, Anna. If you do radial, then it's 1/5 of the time. Exactly. Very clever people here. You understand the tool. So thank you for joining me for this. It was a lot of fun to see everybody, and I hope to have you try the Symmetry tool sometime. Have a great day, and stick around for the next stream. Bye!